One of the biggest fears of riders is dropping your motorcycle. And this is another common reason why riders are hesitant to practice their skills. But here's the thing, if you know the correct technique, even picking up a heavy bike doesn't have to be scary or dangerous. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to properly pick up a motorcycle. Now let's hop into it. So now before we get into it, I know some of you are going to say, I don't want to damage my motorcycles. So let me show you exactly how I protect mine. So the first thing you definitely need are these engine guards and saddlebag guards. And then in addition to that, I also have these motorcycle drop guards on the engine guard and on the saddlebag guards. In the kit, it also comes with this other guard to protect your primary. These are essential for protecting your motorcycle. They fit on most Harleys and Indians. If you watch a lot of my videos, you already know I've dropped this Road King countless times and my Road Glide. And the best part is, no damage. And if you can't afford the motorcycle drop guards, I have seen people wrap their engine and saddlebag guards with some pool noodles or some piping insulation. That'll work too temporarily, but I highly suggest you save up and get the motorcycle drop guards. Okay, so let's hop right into it. But first, obviously we gotta drop the bike. So I don't have any worry about dropping this bike, obviously, because I've dropped it numerous times and I got the motorcycle drop guard, so I'm just gonna let it fall. And my hand grip fell off, so that's good. We'll leave that in the video. Time to re-glue that back on. So anyways, so the bike tips over, okay? And typically when the bike is on, okay, my flashers did come on, no big deal. Your first step is to always make sure your bike's turned off, especially if it's still running. Harley Davidsons, they typically have like an automatic tip sensor, so it'll shut off after you fall. So you have it shut off. Second step, make sure you're in first gear, okay? Then after that, we fell on the opposite side of the kickstand, so what we want to do is we can just reach over, pull the kickstand out. You don't want to forget this step, because if you go to pick this up and you just let it lean over, you're going to end up picking it up again. All right, so now that the bike fell over, we got our kickstand down, we made sure we're in first gear, and the reason for making sure you're in first gear is that way so the bike doesn't start rolling when you're picking it up. And then another trick that I saw from Barker's Bikes, check out his YouTube channel. He's a current motor officer. He keeps a Velcro strap to hold the brake. So you can wrap the Velcro strap around your front brake, and then you'll definitely make sure it doesn't roll. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take our left hand, we're gonna put it on the right handlebar. You're not gonna put it on the left one because it's just not gonna work. So left hand on the right handlebar, you're gonna pull the handlebars towards you, twisting the wheel. Then you're gonna squat down, get a nice good squat going, feet about shoulder width apart. And then you're gonna go ahead and grip something solid on the bike. So for me, it's my saddlebag guards, which these also come in handy for picking the bike up. And I got these on Amazon. I'll leave a link down in the description. These work just fine compared to the Harley Davidson ones. I've had this thing on its side more than it's been standing up, and these saddlebag guards hold up great. So I'm grabbing this, and then what we're gonna do, we're gonna slowly lean into the bike, and you can just slowly walk it up, taking little steps. So let me show you. So you're right here, and as you're doing this, you're pulling on this handlebar to give you some help. So I'm gonna slowly start leaning into the bike, little steps back, little steps, and boom, we're all the way up here, no problem. So I'll show you what this looks like in pretty much one swift motion, because I don't typically take a bunch of little steps, but for people that struggle a little bit, it'll give you like a little bit of a break. So when I pick it up, hands right here, one on the crash guard for the saddlebag, and then I just kind of walk it up. And then since the kickstand's down, we can just let it fall. Now I've gotten a bunch of comments on some of my shorts and stuff, and everyone's like, oh, that's fine and dandy. You dropped it on the opposite side of the kickstand. So why don't you show me how you do it if you drop it on the kickstand side? And let me tell you, it's not a big deal at all. So let me go ahead and show you that. And again, got the motorcycle drop guards. So I am definitely not afraid to drop it. So we'll drop it down. Completely fine. First, still make sure you're in first gear. Make sure the bike's off, you know, make sure you're good. And obviously now we can't put the kickstand down right away. And I'll show you what we're gonna do. Right hand on here, twist the handlebars in, get a nice good squat. Hand on the saddlebag guard. And we're just gonna slowly walk it up, leaning back into the bike using our legs. And then once you get to about this point, this is all you have to do, okay? Just sneak your foot down right here, kick that kickstand out, and then just let it come back down. It's not a big deal, nothing fancy or special to do it. And a couple other things that I want to mention, as you can see here, when the bike goes down, your hazard lights come on. And some people forget to shut these off, and in the training world, we like to call them the lights of shame. So if you're riding around with your flashers going on, everybody knows you dropped it. But let me go ahead and show you how to shut those off. So we already shut the bike off, and I'm hitting the hazard button, you can't shut it off. So the reason why we shut it off first is because you have to shut it off anyways, then you can turn it back on, hit your flashers, and then they'll go off. And for those of you with the 2023 and newer Harley Davidson models, the models with the big infotainment screen, when you drop your bike, it ends up going into limp mode. And for those of you that don't know what limp mode is, basically it restricts your throttle from, so say you go full throttle, it's only gonna give it so much throttle. So you're gonna end up going, I don't know, I think maybe like 25 miles per hour, but I figured out how to fix that. So to get your newer models out of limp mode, you're gonna need to take your key fob, and then you're gonna walk away from the bike, I don't know, like 20 feet or so, like a good distance. I'll show you about how far I used to walk away, because I did drop that bike a couple times. I don't know, just enough so your bike doesn't detect the key fob. So you're gonna end up walking away for about 20 seconds, and then after 20 seconds, you can come back to the bike, turn it on, start it up, and it should fix it. It worked 9 times out of 10. Another thing I wanna mention is that this technique works about 99% of the time. And I wanna tell you a little story where it didn't work out so well for me. So this is when I had my 2023 Road Glide CVO. I was at my storage lot doing something with my motorcycle trailer, and it had real deep gravel. And the problem was I made a turn, I fell over, my mistake. I was trying to test my limits in deep gravel, see what was possible. So I dropped it in the deep gravel, and when it was on the ground, I tried this regular method, but the gravel was so deep, when I'd go to pull the bike back up, I could not get my footing. So I probably struggled for about 20 minutes, but I did find an alternative way to pick it up from my friend Robert Simmons. So let me go ahead and show you that. So here we go again. Let me go ahead and drop the bike one more time. Poor Sonic, I'm sorry. Okay, so for this situation here, Robert Simmons showed, okay, all the same steps apply. Make sure the bike's still in first gear, the bike's off. So what he shows is your left hand on the right handlebar, your right hand on this one, and then you twist the handlebars, and I'm standing just like this. And in one swift motion, I'm gonna push the bike up. So let me go ahead and show you that. So one swift motion, 1, 2, 3. And then just walk it up. And then what I do is I lean the bike against me, turn the handlebars straight, and put the kickstand down. But I will tell you, I don't know if I'm doing it wrong, but I did struggle trying to do this with the Road Glide because they're a little bit heavier. I don't know if I'm just weak or I was doing it wrong, but it did help me get that bike back up. It wasn't easy by any means, but it did save my butt because in the storage lot, there was nobody there to help me. So that's another point that I want to make. If the bike falls over, don't let it hurt your ego. And if people are around, just ask them to help you get the bike back up, because chances are they already know that like you're stressed out and you could be embarrassed. At this point, I'm not embarrassed about dropping my bike anymore. It is what it is. But yeah, just get help if you need it. And then of course, once you get the bike stood back up, turn the bike on, hit your hazards, shut them off so nobody knows that you actually fell over when you're going down the road. And that's that. And then another thing that you want to do after the bike drops, just do a quick safety check, you know, look underneath, make sure you don't have any wires or cables or anything dangling anywhere. Just a quick little safety check. And I'm making this video because I get a lot of comments saying, you know, I really want to get out there and practice, but I'm just afraid of dropping my bike and not going to be able to pick it up. So I really hope this video helps. And that leads on to my next point. Don't let dropping your bike scare you into not practicing, because let me tell you, it's better to drop it in the parking lot where it doesn't really matter compared to out on the street when it does matter. Now, knock on wood, since I've been riding, I haven't dropped it in the street countless times in the parking lot. And I'm definitely not afraid to admit that, because what we do is we learn from these drops and become better riders. And also, I encourage you guys to take an advanced motorcycle course. I don't care who it's by, as long as they're reputable. And a lot of these skills aren't advanced. They're just basic maneuvers that you should know. Every motorcyclist should know. And once you know these skills, it just makes riding that much more enjoyable. After you drop your motorcycle a couple times and it's well protected, you have nothing to worry about, and it really doesn't become a big deal. And if you guys ever find yourself out in the Ohio area, I hold completely free practice sessions at Johnny K's in Elyria, Ohio, once a month. If you're interested in that, go over to my website, jogomotorcycleadventures.com. I have the whole scheduled out for the rest of the year. Go ahead and check it out and register for a course. And I also offer private lessons, so if you're interested in that, that's also on the website. Now that I've helped you somewhat get over your fear of dropping your motorcycle, make sure to check out this playlist right here for some maneuvers that you can practice out in the parking lot. As always, this is Jogo with Jogo Motorcycle Adventures, and until next time, ride on.